Welcome to the Great American Collectibles Show, heard Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. Eastern on PSAcard.com and the PSA Facebook page. The Great American Collectibles Show is brought to you by PSA and the National Sports Collectors Convention. Tonight's headlines brought to you by Sports Collectors Daily. For all of your hobby news, features, and more, visit sportscollectorsdaily.com. And now, your hosts, Tom Zappola and Rico Petroselli. Tommy, are you going to say something or what?
He loves the music. See,
Yeah.
that's what it is.
That's the problem.
What's he, shy tonight?
I don't know.
No, I'm talking, baby. Can you hear me?
No.
Yeah, we can hear.
Now I can hear you.
Oh, what are you guys both like a little, kill the music, man. Kill the music.
I thought you loved the music.
Yeah.
No, I don't like the music that much.
Hamlin.
Now, can you hear
For
me?
God's sake.
Buddha, I got a question for you. So
Yeah.
before we get into the show, you went to go see Tony Bennett the other night, correct?
Yes, I did.
How was he?
He was good.
How good was he, Buddha?
He was Tony Bennett. He was Tony Bennett at 90, 91, 92.
Did he?
Yeah,
Did he repeat himself?
he did.
Yeah, he could still remember the words of the songs.
Well,
which is
he kind of
amazing.
repeated one song halfway, and then he segued into another song. It was Tony Bennett.
Yeah.
And let me just say, I don't want to disparage Tony Bennett because it was a heck of a show, and we're going to leave it at that.
I'll tell you one thing. I heard Paul Anka last year in Florida. He was 73, 2 or 3. Actually, it was 2 years ago. And he was fabulous. Sounded
Really?
the same. Oh man, he was all over the place too. In the audience, on stage, of course, and with a band. It was terrific.
Tony introduced his band 17 times.
He did.
He shuffled his way onto the stage, and
Nice.
and introduced the band, like I said, 17 times. Went around the stage, introduced everybody.
Nice.
Yeah, and
Hey,
they
can I ask you a question? May I ask you a technical question?
sure.
Are we on? Is Facebook Live on?
Yes.
Well, it's interesting because I'm obviously. First of all, hi to everyone. I am broadcasting from off-site. Rico's in the studio with Mark, and why can't I see the show either on my phone or on my? It says going live and whenever.
Well, Rico can see it.
Really?
I can see it.
Well, I hope our viewers can see it. I don't care if I can't see it, but it's really interesting that I.
We
cannot
could see you. Yeah. You can't see us?
No, I cannot see you guys. I don't see anything.
Rico, here's the thing. We're having these little technical glitches tonight.
Yes, things happen.
And I get the feeling, because we sound great, we see each other on Facebook.
Yeah.
Tommy's having some audio issues.
Well,
Tommy's having some video
honest to
issues.
God, I'm not concerned about the audio issues. However, I can't see us live, so as a result, I'm not going to be able to respond to any of our viewers because I can't see anything. So
Yeah.
you guys are going to have to do that, I guess.
Okay, yeah. See, here's the thing. I think it's an issue with Tom.
Really?
It could be. Yeah, he's a little rusty with that, but he usually is very good. It could be a little thing, but...
So my next question, Rico, how long have I been doing this show, not counting tomorrow?
Yeah, right.
Oh, good point. All right, well, listen. I can only hear. I can't see, but that's okay. Our headlines for this week, if I can dig them out. 1952 Topps mantle from famous Rosen find comes to auction. A card from one of the hobby's favorite finds of all time is coming to auction later this fall. Heritage Auctions says it will offer a high-grade 1952 Topps Mickey mantle from the 1986 discovery of hundreds of uncirculated 1952 Topps high numbers at its... Okay, so I'm just getting... just want you to know, Mr. Producer, that none of our viewers, they're texting me and no one's seeing the show. So They're hearing
show,
they're
Rico?
hearing audio, but they're not
I
getting
see
any
it. Yeah.
visual.
I see it.
I see it too, Tommy.
Well, nobody else does. Just you two, and the rest of the country doesn't. So I'm just letting you know. Anyway, now in a PSA mint holder, it's expected to bring at least $800,000.
Wait a second. Time out.
Yes, dear.
Joanne Spiegel on the message board. She can see it.
That's my niece.
Yeah, well, she can see it.
Hi,
She
Joe.
said- yes, we
You
can see it. There you
Really?
go.
Great. All right. So,
Hallelujah.
I mean,
All right, so do me a favor, folks. If you can see us, let us know, please, because I can't see us, and somebody else
Stephen
just
Lane
said.
sees the show. Thank you, Stephen.
All right, so you guys can see it as long as I guess that's what counts. As long as they
are
can
you on
see it.
Skype?
No, that's Facebook. You're looking at Facebook.
Yes. Okay.
All right, now see now hold on.
Yeah.
Now I can see it.
Well, that's wonderful.
So I suspect that it's our little friend Buddha is behind this. I suspect.
Well, I don't know. I wouldn't say that, though. He's very, very good.
I think we could have
very
some
good.
technical difficulties with Tommy's camera.
But anyway,
But hold on.
What's the headlines? Come on, kid.
All right, let me finish the headline. So anyway, 1952 Topps mantle from famous Rosen finds coming to auction. It's a PSA 8.5. The card was graded only 3 years ago, having been consigned at the Heritage booth at the 2016 National Sports Collectors Convention and graded by PSA on site. Prior to that time, it had been held in a private collection, and of course, Mr. Mint, Alan Rosen, is the one that scooped it up, sold it off. In April of 2018, Heritage sold one of the nines for a record $2.88 million. It's going to be really interesting to see what this card goes for. For hobby news and information, please go to sportscollectorsdaily.com. All right, so I guess, Buddha, before we bring in, and I have my trivia question, before we bring in Dave Thorn from Small Traditions, Bennett did not collapse on the air, correct?
Huh?
He didn't collapse or anything.
Tony Bennett?
No, he did not.
He didn't. All
He
right,
held
so
onto
he was
the piano for his entire performance.
okay. I mean, why would you waste your money going to see a 92-year-old guy sing when you know he can't sing?
Because he's a legend.
He's a legend. Are you kidding me?
I mean, that's like, it's like going to see De Niro act now. He was a legend.
Come
he stinks
on.
now.
I'd go see you if you were on.
No, I wouldn't go that
radio.
far, Rico.
When you're 92 next year.
All right.
No,
Here's
I mean,
all right.
it's Tony Bennett. I can say I saw Tony Bennett in the lovely confines of Lowell Memorial Auditorium. You're laughing. I don't know why you're laughing.
Oh, God. You can't be making fun of old people. Rico,
But I'm not the
especially
one
you.
making fun of him, man.
Oh, he's not making fun of me.
I know, I'm kidding.
I-
All right, our trivia question. So last week we had a winner. Stan Orr won again. Stan Orr wins every
Come
week.
on, will ya?
This week it's a little difficult. Now, here's what we're going to win. I broke open one of these Score Blitz card packages that Panini gave us, that was nice enough to give us. And I broke it open, and I dug out a couple of cards. So here's what you're going to win. You're going to win. I have two T206 stat cards. One of is Honus Wagner, and one is who's the other one?
I think Dave Martinez. When
Oh, one of
thrown out
them.
the game.
No, then we have a scorecard, a Tom Brady.
Ooh.
Bring it down a little bit.
A Tom Brady,
There we
number
go.
12.
Good job.
Thank you. Tom Brady, number 12, Panini scorecard. But then the third card, this is kind of interesting. I just pulled this one out. This is a scorecard signed by quarterback Brett Rippon. See the signature on it. And he's going to be starting this Sunday for the Denver Broncos. From Boise State, he signed this before he got drafted. So, hey, this could be worth something someday. I don't know how much, but here's the trivia question, and this one is tough because I'm sick of giving you guys easy ones. You ready? Rico, you ready?
I'm ready.
Dave Thorn. Is Dave with us?
I'm here.
All right, Dave, you ready? Here's the trivia question. This T206er was an Orphan, then a Blue, then a Bronco, then a Nap, then a Tip Top, and finally a Packer. not including any minor league teams that he played on or managed. This T206er was an orphan, then a blue, then a Bronco, then a Nap, then a Tip Top, and finally a Packer, not including minor league teams he played for or managed. These were all professional teams that he played for.
What's that? You say
baseball.
blue? You said blue.
What do you mean blue?
Well, what'd you say?
He was a blue. First he was an orphan, then he was a blue.
What's a
then he was
blue?
a
What's a blue? What do you mean?
That was the name of the team.
And the first one was the Orphans,
These are all major league
good
teams. He was an orphan, a blue, a Bronco, a Nap, a Tip Top, and finally a Packer, not including any minor league teams.
I know who it is.
You guess, you win the 3 cards. Tough one.
Hey,
Tough one, baby.
That is tough.
All right.
I know who it is.
All right. No, you don't know. He had no clue what it is. All right, let's get to Dave Thorn. This is Dave has a great auction. Dave, when's it ending on? 11/2?
Yeah, that's right. Saturday night. We end at 11 o'clock our time, Mountain Time. So, no, midnight our time. I'm sorry. 11 Pacific, 2 a.m. unfortunately Eastern. But we end sharp. We don't have an extended bidding period. So at 11 Pacific, it just ends, and that's it. So this Saturday night, the 2nd.
All right, so tell us, before we talk about your current auction, the last auction you had was pretty darn successful also, correct?
We've had a nice stretch of auctions. They seem to come up so fast. I don't know how. We used to do one every month, but now we're on an every other month schedule. I don't know how for 5 years we did one every month. But they kind of blend together because the second one gets off the ground. We're hard at work preparing the next one. But the last one, was a good one. So we've had a good handful in a row that have been doing pretty well.
Fantastic.
Dave,
fantastic.
Rico? I wanted to ask you about that. You I'm sure, follow your competition and all that. Do they get all different items than, say, you would at one time, and then a third, auction house would get maybe something else? Or do you get sometimes?
There's so much stuff out there, Rico, that I think one of the things a lot of people underestimate is how much was produced by the tobacco companies who were making the T206 cards 100 years ago, to the cards, the Topps company making the cards in the 50s, 60s, and until today. There's enough out there for there to be several dozen companies like mine, and we're small. Obviously, it's the name. We're a handful of guys, and I like to think of us as a curator. We try to find really interesting stuff. We work with our sellers to go through their collections to find interesting things that I think our buying customers will really like. But it's a lot of fun, more than anything.
We are chatting with Dave Thorn from Denver, Colorado, Small Traditions. And by the way, Brian Drent is also watching. Brian, I heard you have some snow. Nice for you to tune in with us. I'm going to repeat. Someone asked me to repeat the trivia question one more time. This T206er was an orphan. He was a blue. He was a Bronco. He was a Nap. Then he was a Tip Top. And finally a Packer. That is not including any major league teams that he played on. Who is he? You guess it. You win the nice cards that we talked about. All right, so let's talk, David. Talk to us about some of the highlights in your current auction.
Well, one of the biggest highlights, we're breaking up what is currently the #1 Derek Jeter PSA Master Set Registry. So to get your mind around that, more specifically, the PSA Master Derek Jeter Set Registry contains currently 7,360 cards, I believe.
Yeah.
And so to get that all, no one's ever done it or come close, but our seller, whose name is Jeff Smith, he has done over half of it. And so we're, over the course of our next several auctions, breaking it up. And this first part has some really nice selections, rookie autographs and insert cards from the late 1990s, which are two kind of distinct genres, I guess you could say, of Derek Jeter collectible cards.
Is that unusual now, since he hasn't been elected to the Hall of Fame yet? Although he's an icon, but that his cards would be worth that much.
It's a great question. Was that Rico's question?
Yes.
It is. It's about time.
So, Rico, check this out. Last week on eBay, seller PWCC sold a Derek Jeter card for $202,102. It was a card from his rookie year from 1996. It was a card that they only made 30 of, and I'd love to talk about that for a minute. We sold another version of that, or another example of that card 5 years ago, and we got in auction $34,000 for it, and we made a huge deal about it. And now 5 years later, there's only ever been 2 PSA 10s. 5 years later, the second PSA 10 sold for $202,000.
That tells you something about the industry, which is great.
Yeah,
people,
really.
The cards go up. That's a good investment.
Yeah, they sure are. And this card is really special. There were only 30 of them made, and it comes from this set called 1996 Select Certified. And it was the first set to really do what we call a stratified print run, where you have a base card, and then you have different colored versions in lower and lower print runs. So there was a red shiny mirror version that they made only 90 copies of, a blue version they made 45 copies of, and this gold version they made only 30 copies of. And funny enough, the product that it came out in, it was an ultra high-end product that the company only made something like 3,250 boxes, and we have 2 of the unopened boxes for sale in our current auction, which has been fun to watch with this recent $200,000 sale. The price for these boxes is just going through the roof. So
let's talk about Jeter for a few minutes. Rico, I mean, you were an all-star shortstop, moved to third base, but you played at a time when there were some real great shortstops around. I looked at Jeter's numbers and looked really hard at him. And there's really an argument to be made for him being in the top 1, 2, or 3 greatest shortstops of all times, Reek. Do you agree or disagree with that?
I've got to agree with it. When he first came up, he had very good range. Of course, he's had a good arm. But the big thing is his hitting. I mean, he was just a tremendous hitter, leader, and all of that. I'd say, yeah, but do you recall, I think you do, Tom, when it was Jeter, what's his name, the guy on ESPN, A-Rod, and Nomar. Remember the 3? They were
when the 3 of them were playing together.
It was great.
I mean, it was the big 3, but then of course, A-Rod, in my opinion, fell by the wayside. And Nomar kind of was he kind of fizzed out fairly quickly for whatever reason.
Yeah, he had a lot of injuries.
Jeter, if you look at Jeter, I mean, he was, stayed under the radar. I'm not stayed under the radar, but stayed out of the controversy. Yeah. But you look at his numbers, man. His numbers, every bit as good, if not better, than Honus Wagner's. And you got to really take a hard look at him. More home runs. He didn't hit for the average that Wagner hit for. But you look at all his other offensive stats, man, and they're pretty darn good. How was he defensively, Rico?
Well, when he first came up, he was excellent. He could, he had great range. I saw him in the minor leagues, man alive. I mean, he was going to be something. But towards the end of his career, he lost a lot of range. That was the big complaint about him. But overall, by that time, you get to know the hitters and all that and where they hit and so on. No, I would say he's legit. I mean, he was a great one.
Did you manage against him?
Yeah, no. I was a coach down in Florida State League with DeMarlo Hale, and he came up, and man, couldn't get him out. Get him out. I mean, he up the middle, right field, left field, just a tremendous talent.
Yeah, there are some crazy numbers actually when you look at him. He's got 200 postseason hits.
Yeah.
That's hard to get your mind around.
That's what I'm saying. Absolutely. So, David, all of this Derek Jeter memorabilia and all these cards came from one consignor?
That's right. And I should be emphatic about saying that he was a very intelligent collector. So he wasn't going after the most expensive at the time items. He was going after stuff that he researched and he knew was rare or condition sensitive. And so some of it might not look like, you know, the sexiest card that we know, like the $200,000 card I talked about before.
Yeah.
But they're tough cards that, you know, in a year when he's a Hall of Famer, in 10 years from now, might have the same PSA population in the grade of 10 or 9, and would be a good investment right now because except for his really, really, really high-end stuff, I personally think from my vantage point, Jeter's stuff is selling, you know, it's a buyer's market for most of his stuff right now, even though the hobby's scorching hot, the economy's good, and the guy's about to be elected into the Hall of Fame. So,
Dave, you had a real mix of different sports. What were some of the highlights?
Of the current auction ending on Saturday?
Yeah.
We have continually, it amazes me, every other month we have a lot of soccer stuff recently. So we have Pele rookie cards and Diego Maradona rookie cards, and Ronaldinho, who is the Brazilian player who played for Barcelona for a long time. I hate to admit it. I don't know why I hate to admit it, but I've become a big Barcelona fan myself. I watched the Barcelona game yesterday, and we have Leo Messi rookie cards, and he had 2 goals and 2 assists yesterday in plays that would make your head spin when you see them in real time.
I'm a Liverpool
soccer,
fan.
basketball, baseball, of course. We have a reputation for selling what are we refer to as oddball or regional items that we really cater to people's master PSA registry collections. So unusual items outside of the realm of Topps and Bowman, you know, cards that come off of cereal boxes or Jell-O boxes, or were included with potato chip packages or meat packages, that kind of stuff that we really enjoy because it's unique and it's different than the normal stuff.
All right, we are chatting with Dave Thorn from Small Traditions. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to chat a little more with our good friend Dave. So hang in there, and we'll be right back.
My name is Davis. Please consider making a donation to the Jimmy Fund and Dana-Farber Cancer Institute and help stamp out cancer in kids. We have all been touched by cancer, but we can win the battle. Please make your donation, and remember, no amount is too small. The Jimmy Fund is the official charity of the Boston Red Sox. Thanks very much.
Hi, I'm Rico Petroselli. I hope you listen to my pal Davis and make a contribution. We want to make children's cancer a thing of the past, and with your help, we can do it. Just go to TomZappalaMedia.com to make your charitable donation.
This is my fight song. Take back my life song.
Since 1996, Brian Drent and the staff at Denver's Mile High Card Company have led the charge in the collectibles hobby. Mile High is a full-service dealer specializing in buying and selling cards and offers a competitive consignment program for all collectors. Whether it be their computerized want list service, appraisals, or auction services, Mile High has it all. If you've been searching for a company with a selection of high-grade vintage 1888 to 1970 baseball cards and memorabilia that shares your passion, aim high, Mile High. Go to milehighcardco.com or call 303-840-2784 for more information.
This is Brian Drent, president of Mile High Card Company. Is your sports card and memorabilia collection properly insured? For easily replaced personal property, homeowners insurance is all most people need. But for prized possessions that you may have spent a lifetime collecting, it doesn't go nearly far enough. Collectibles Insurance Services has been insuring for over 50 years. They offer a full range of protection and a $0 deductible at an affordable rate with no appraisals required. I know because they insure my collection. If you have a minute, go to collectinsure.com and learn more about insuring your personal card or memorabilia collection.
How would you like to own the bat that was used by your favorite player when he hit that towering home run or game-winning base hit? Now look no further than JT Sports, specializing in the sale and authentication of professional game used bats. As the official authenticators of professional model game used bats for PSA DNA, JT Sports will guarantee the authenticity of any bat purchased from them. JT Sports also buys and sells game-worn uniforms, gloves, and baseball equipment. The unique quality of the collectible is what JT Sports is all about. Give them a call at 609-487-8003 or check them out at GameUseBats.com. Hi, everyone. I'm Rico Petroselli, and I'm very excited to talk to you about our new partner, Panini America. Panini America is the world leader in licensed sports and entertainment collectibles, and we're proud to have them as the official trading card of the Great American Collectibles Show. When it comes to modern trading cards of your favorite players, Panini America leads the way in terms of innovation, design, creativity, value, and fun. From landmark brands such as Donruss, Prism, and Contenders to high-end juggernauts like Flawless, National Treasures, and Immaculate, Panini America delivers the hottest trading cards of the biggest names in the NBA, NFL, MLB, PA, NASCAR, soccer, and college. When you want to collect the best, collect Panini America. Ask for it at your local hobby shop or at mass retailers like Target and Walmart. And you can always find Panini America online at icollectpanini.com. Panini America. Who do you collect?
Hi, this is Dan from Memory Lane Auction and Collectibles Company. If you're looking to maximize your return on your sports cards and collectibles, look no further. We at Memory Lane Auction House offer you several options to achieve top dollar for your collectibles. Whether you're looking to auction or sell privately, we're the #1 choice with over 17 years in the hobby. Nobody will work harder to achieve your goals. Just call us today at 877-606-5263. That's 877-606-LANE. Or visit us on the web at www.memorylaneinc.com. Go with the best. Go with Memory Lane.
Okay, we are back. You're listening to the Great American Collectible Show with Tom Zappala, my good friend, Red Sox Hall of Famer Rico Petroselli, and our new producer who really gets it. He understands what we're all about. Buddha Mark LeMay. And on the phone with us, we're chatting with, in snowy Denver, Dave Thorn from Small Traditions. And again, obviously, our two big sponsors, PSA, the National Sports Collectors Convention, along with some great, great auction houses and card shops and the like. Great sponsors. Thanks all for your support. Mark, do we have any little eBay music, maybe? Hold on. I'm getting into it. Okay, let's go, Rico. I'm ready to roll.
Man, if you're looking for autographed memorabilia, hard to find collectibles from your favorite team, that officially licensed MLB jersey, or that, get this, I'm so excited, Bill Belichick 300-win autographed underwear. Yes, it's right. Jump on eBay right now. You can find just about everything on eBay. If you're on a budget, you can purchase PSA graded cards at very affordable prices. Great pieces of memorabilia from your favorite dealers and players, autographs, and much more.
And from everything to graded and ungraded T206 cards, Gaudis, play ball, and 52 tops, there is some amazing, I repeat, Rico, amazing deals on eBay.
I know there is.
And don't forget, non-sports cards.
Yeah.
All kinds of sports collectibles. The Monkeys, Davy Crockett, Mars Attack, all those cool cards, and even tickets to your favorite game.
That's wonderful. Well, eBay has 7,672,000,000 users.
Hold on. How many?
6 billion.
Oh,
What did I
billion.
say?
Okay, now we're up to billion.
Oh, yeah. I mean, are you kidding me? They're
what the heck?
popular. That many users, and is the biggest and best marketplace in the world. Go to eBay.com and either make your purchase or get your bid in.
Really?
Or get the hell out of here.
Well, do we not have a video again? Some people are saying we don't have a video. I can see everybody fine, so if not, just listen to us. But anyway, all right, I'm going to repeat before we get back to Dave the trivia question one more time. This T206 was an Orphan, then a Blue, then a Bronco, then a Nap, then a Tip Top, and finally a Packer that does not include any minor league teams that he played for. Who was he?
Can I guess it?
No. All right, let's get back to Dave. Dave, let's get back to soccer for a minute. So is soccer really picking up in this country?
Oh, I don't know about in the country. Well, yeah, obviously. I mean, the LA Galaxy, I don't even know why, but all the time I get on my telephone, Zlatan Ibrahimovic. You know that name? He's considered the third best player in the world. He's a player for the LA Galaxy, and I see highlights from him all the time on my phone for whatever reason. But, you know, it's the world's most popular sport. And
I know that. It's crazy.
Yeah. 4 billion fans, they say.
So, I mean, I'm not a big soccer guy. I mean, I go to my granddaughter's soccer games, and by the way, they're in playoffs. But these teams like the Revolution in Boston, I mean, they're nowhere near as good as the World Cup teams, correct? I mean, the
Premier League
teams, correct?
Premier League.
No, I would have to agree. The European leagues, La Liga in Spain, and the Premier League in England, those are your best leagues, and they all have championships amongst themselves for the European Cup and that kind of thing. But we have some of their best players playing for American teams here. And then, of course, they go back to their homes and they play for their countries in international play. And so there's a lot of different competitions and a lot of different levels that if you're a casual fan, even like I am, it's hard to get your mind around when they're playing 9 months out of the year almost, and different sorts of championships and different leagues and things like that.
And they make big money.
It's on the rise, certainly.
They do make big money. Rico?
Big money. They make big money. I was with, I did an appearance with a former Liverpool player, and he was very good. And
that was just this past weekend. Right?
Yeah, and he was telling me about it. The marketing there, they're almost like geniuses. They're very smart marketing-wise. They know how to market their product. And as you said,
it's like NASCAR too.
Yeah.
They just paint the players and the stadiums with ads, and the amount of money that goes through their teams is astronomical. But, you know, I'll tell you quickly, there's 2 documentaries that I recently watched. I think they were on Amazon Prime that really opened my eyes. There's one called All or Nothing, which was about the 2017 Manchester City team who broke a record for having one of the best records ever. And then this other documentary called This Is Football, which is 6 parts. And there's one, I think the second part, about the U.S. women's national team. And it's one of the best things I've ever seen on TV. It's really amazing.
Really?
But the other parts are equally interesting. So,
Dave, is there any interest in lacrosse? There are pros in that.
No, I don't think so. Not lacrosse, rugby. As far as collecting, I'm sure guys who had their careers or played in college and know some of the history, you know, might disagree with me. But you don't see it on the big stage like we're starting to see a lot of soccer stuff. You know, sell for tens and even hundreds of thousands of dollars for some of the best stuff.
Yeah. Hey, Dave, you have a pretty extensive collection of Bowmans, 50s Bowmans in the auction. Are the 50 Bowmans? I mean, it seems as though, you know, when you compare the Bowmans with the tops, they don't get as much respect. But are the 50s Bowman sets? They've really picked up a head of steam recently, haven't they?
For what I've seen, I think they're actually good buys right now. If you look at the PSA's database of population statistics for how many cards from, let's say, the 1950 set have graded 8s, 9s, or 10s, a lot of cards that only have a couple dozen 8s. That's really rare for a card from, you know, almost 70 years ago.
Right. And
you could pick them up for a couple $100, $50, $60, depending on, you know, who's bidding and who the player is, of course. And so they're as popular as ever, but I think they're a good buy.
What about the why isn't the 51 Bowman Mantle, why isn't that really considered his rookie card?
Well, it is in the hobby, right? So guys who definitely collect Mickey Mantle or collect early Bowman and Top stuff, they know that that's Mickey Mantle's rookie card. It came out in his rookie season. The 52 Topps card is just such a hobby, really exploding. So any of those that hit the market, I think, would do as well or better than the 52 Topps cards, those giant sales that we've been seeing and are anticipating.
Well, the high-end 50s and 60 Topps cards, are they getting stronger? The market getting stronger for them?
That's a good question.
Oh, yeah. The prices for the very best stuff, which means, highest graded PSA 9, PSA 10, Hall of Famers, and rookie cards, and star players, the prices for that stuff keep going up, not just a little bit. I mean, we're seeing exponential price increases for, Steve Carlton rookie card. The two sales ago, I think there's 7 cards of that one that have graded PSA 10, which is not very many, but it was a $15,000 card 5 years ago, and then last year or the year before, I believe it was Heritage, sold one for $50,000.
Wow.
So that's what I'm saying, like we see the astronomical or the exponential rise. It doesn't just go up 20%, it's going up 300, 400% or something like that.
Now, you have quite a few of those in your auction, correct?
In our current auction, we don't have that many PSA 9 or PSA 10 Hall of Fame rookie cards. Our next
No, but
auction,
I'm saying 50s and 60s Topps.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you got plenty.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And by the way, to our viewers, I know the picture, our video, every once in a while kind of craps out, and we're having some severe weather up here in New England. It is raining cats and dogs and windy, so don't blame us, blame the weather. Rico?
Sure. Yeah, I blame the weather, too. Yeah, also, Dave, could you tell us about some of the signed balls you're offering? Yeah, I'm getting
right now we have the second round of from a guy who was the son of an usher at Ebbets Field. So it's just some team signed balls that they would give. This gentleman's name was Frank or Francis McKee, and he actually had a nickname. He was called the chairman of Ebbets Field. So a lot of it's personal stuff, signed to him, but nothing terribly spectacular, but certainly with interesting provenance and pretty neat.
Well, that's what it's all about.
Well, I think
Dave,
he was,
I'm sorry, go ahead, Rico.
No, I was just going to say, I think he was the guy that let us in, me and my friends. We snuck in, and the usher used to, he was a great guy.
Same guy, right?
Yeah, I think that was him.
Hey,
no,
Dave,
it definitely was him. He was the head usher in the 40s and 50s, until they were gone, and then he moved down to Florida, and he ushered at some of the spring training camps, and his son has been pretty awesome to work with.
Before I get
I have a question for you guys.
Go ahead.
I know we're all going to be tuning in a half an hour, I guess it is, to Game 7.
Just going to ask him that. I was just going to ask you that.
Who's going to win?
I'm liking Houston. Rico, who do you like?
Well, I'm thinking.
How can you just two teams? Rick?
No, it's not it's not easy. The big thing is that Scherzer has nothing to lose. If he loses,
but he's not playing. He's not 100% either.
That's what I mean. If he loses, well, his neck and all that, blah blah blah, and of course Houston's expected to win. So, but I'm going to go with Washington.
Really?
I like.
What do you like, David?
Too. Washington, absolutely.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey, Dave.
I'm a huge Yankees fan, so I have to root against the Astros for one thing. But I just heard today it's so hard to understand, but not a single home game or home team has won in this World Series.
I know, that's amazing.
That
I think that's the first time it's ever happened.
I was going to say.
Hey, a couple of viewers are asking the question, Dave, and it's actually a good question. Is there only an uptick in PSA 8s and higher? Are graded cards, from, say, 4 to 8, is there still an uptick in those, or is it just the high-end stuff that's really starting to escalate?
That's a great question. It depends on the era that we're talking about. So the further we go back, the more valuable the middle grade cards are and the lower grade cards. So people for T206 cards from 100 years ago are happy to collect them in PSA 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s. Some of the highest graded examples have only maxed out at a 4.5 or something like that. For the 50s and 60s stuff, I think the ultra high end stuff, which most people can't afford, that kind of starts at the grade of 8 and above, which leaves the 5s, 6s, and 7s for people who we call it collector's grade, actually, because it's people are building sets with mid-grade, collector's grade. They're nice, very nice looking cards, but they're not paying the same astronomical price tags for the Steve Carlton rookie in a 9 or a 10. In a 7, they could get it for a few $100.
Yeah.
So the values, they jump more at the higher end of the grading scale, absolutely. But they're still, I think, from what I've seen, rising pretty much across the board.
Rico, you mentioned you hit a nerve about when Dave was talking about the usher. When you played, Rick, there were a bunch of us that used to go to the games, and there was an usher at the entrance to, the home plate entrance.
Yep, yeah.
There was an usher there that used to stand, and we'd walk by him and throw a $10 bill in his hand. There must have been 30 of us. We'd all duke him $10 each, $10 each. Go ahead in, go ahead in, go ahead in. Honest to God. Guy used to make a killing.
Yeah, I mean, there weren't that many people there in those days, were there?
No,
really.
No, you
didn't matter.
Talking about? I'm talking 75, 76, 78.
Jeez. I could have got you in for $5 for
Well, I didn't know you then. I didn't know you then.
Alive.
I was going to see you play.
Yeah, I know, yeah. Sorry.
We're chatting with Dave Thorn from A Small Tradition. So, Dave, you talked about signed baseballs. Tell me about your Colorado Rockies and your Denver Broncos. Are you a big Rocky Broncos fan?
Off and on. I said before I'm a big Yankees fan, so I of course support the hometown teams, but I bleed pinstripes. I really do. So every day I tune into a Yankees game during the season, but when I want to go see live baseball, I go over to our stadium here, which is a great stadium. But they weren't too good this year. So
I tell you, they got some bad teams now. I know they're still great players. They were in professional football, but man, there's some bad teams out there.
They really are. They really are.
Yeah, it's hard to fathom with revenue sharing and stuff like that this could be happening. But
it really is. It's awful.
I mean, it's actually. I mean, they're some great teams with great competition at the top. It's like there's no middle ground. They're either horrible or they're a bunch of teams at the top of the league. And you got to feel for those fans and those.
All right, so
organizations.
I'm gonna throw the question out to you. Being from New England, growing up in Boston, and that Rico being here most of his adult life, how much do you and how much do the people in Denver hate the Patriots?
Oh, hate's a strong word, but I don't have my finger on the pulse of that as much as maybe some other more enthusiastic football fans. Football was my sport, and I loved it, but I really messed up my shoulders, believe it or not, and I've kind of gone the way of thinking it's a really violent game these days, and I just cringe a little bit when I watch, big hits and things like that. So
I got a
but Tom Brady, man, I mean, he's a once in a generation player that if you're not watching, you're going to be sad one day that you didn't get to see him play. It's like Michael Jordan, in the soccer world that we were talking about before, there's the player Leo Messi that we were saying, really, truly a once in a generation, once in a lifetime even player.
I agree.
Who's just reinventing the game more or less and breaking all the records.
Dave, I don't understand this. Why isn't the some of the other rookie cards, more recent, especially rookie cards, not worth more, or not? Maybe collectors don't want to collect them or whatever. Maybe they want to, but you got to hold on to them. I don't understand.
Are you talking about like who? Give me an example, Rico. Like one of today's rookies?
No. What's his name? I faced him enough. He's the toughest pitcher I ever faced. He made beef
Nolan
jerky.
Ryan, Bob Gibson.
Yeah. I mean, come on. I don't know. I just don't
The
understand.
rookie cards of those guys are super expensive. But, I mean, so, you know, if they make the Hall of Fame, Rico, then those pitchers are in another group where people are, you know, Hall of Fame rookie cards are really one of the most hotly collected things out there.
Yeah.
But then you have pitchers like, let's say, Ron Guidry. He's not in the Hall of Fame, but I think I saw his PSA 10, his 1976 Topps is his rookie card, and it's a tough card. It's a tough set, surprisingly tough set. I think there's only a handful of PSA 10s, and I saw one of those sell recently for, I think, $4,000.
That's not bad.
So, yeah,
I mean,
it depends on the grade, depends on the player.
I know, but you know, the Yastrzemskis, those Hall of Famers.
Well, I mean,
even Ted Williams.
Yeah. I mean, and I hear what you're saying, Rico. I think all of those players in high grades are worth money. I think it's the lower and to mid grades that they really fall off the table.
Well, yeah, and you get different people involved at different levels. I mean, they're not worth, you know, good money in high grades. They're worth small fortunes. You know, PSA 9s and PSA 10s of those players that we talked about, Bob Gibson, Nolan Ryan, who else did we just say? Carl Yastrzemski. Those cards are worth hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Right.
Which is really hard to get your mind around. In PSA 10s, maybe the PSA 9s even. PSA 8s, they're a little bit more affordable, but you're still talking tens of thousands of dollars.
Good point.
PSA 6s, Johnny Bench rookie card in a PSA 6 you can pick up for $200. And that's still a really nice-looking card. It might look to you like it just came out of a pack. To someone like me, I could see it's maybe a little off-centered, has a little bit of print on it or something, or it's got a little tiny dinged corner. But a 6 is a really nice card.
Nice.
And it's accessible to collectors to collect every Hall of Famer, or maybe from the 60s at least, in the grade of a 6, and you know, not blow his budget. So it really depends on the grade.
Tom,
it really
your
speaks to
website?
what PSA's done, you know, with their grading system. It's really, really fantastic.
All right, so the auction ends on this coming Saturday. What is your website?
Saturday night, smalltraditions.com.
Yes.
Smalltraditions.com. Get in there. They have some unbelievable stuff. I went through their whole list. Great catalog and some fantastic buys. Dave, thanks for taking the time to be with us, brother.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Have a great night.
All right,
You too.
take care. Dave Thorn for Small Traditions. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to chat a little bit. Rico and I are going to chat. I repeat, we're going to chat.
Oh,
We'll be right back.
Chit-chat.
Hey, I'm Mike Petroselli. If your company is looking for the best in marketing and promotional items, you'll hit a home run with Petroselli Marketing. With over 8,000 suppliers and 650,000 imprint-ready items, we can get your company the visibility it needs to get your maximum exposure. Whether it be office promotions, wearables, automotive, sports items, and everything in between, Petroselli Marketing can do it all. Our design staff will even work with you from concept to delivery and customize your products. At Petroselli Marketing Group, we will get your brand in front of your audience. Contact us at info@petrosellimkt.com or call us at 603-880-3202. That's Petroselli Marketing, where no dream is impossible.
Big things are happening at Small Traditions. The Denver-based auction firm has moved into new digs in the Cherry Creek North Business District of Denver, just one block from the world-famous Cherry Cricket. Small Traditions' cost-free grading promotion is also growing. Now submit up to 500 cards for consideration for grading and don't pay a penny out of pocket. Let owner Dave Thorn and the experts at Small Traditions do all of the work for you and enjoy a 0% seller's fee as well. New headquarters, a new website, a new hard closing procedure to its premium auctions, new blog sites like KoufaxCards.com and JeterCards.com, and more. Small Traditions has also teamed with PSA to sponsor its monthly Madness sweepstakes. Enter today at PSAcard.com for your chance to win prizes valued as high as $2,000. Go to smalltraditions.com for more info. That's Small Traditions, where big things are happening.
When it comes to meeting a budget, Pristine Auction has something for everyone. Jared and his staff at Pristine offer several auction formats, all the way down to a daily auction. Each auction ends nightly with hundreds of lots, and by the way, all daily auctions are offered with no reserve prices. Whether it's cards, signed jerseys, sports, or non-sports memorabilia, Pristine has it all. Pristine Auction is also proud to partner with Hope Sports in Mexico. Our mission is to help those in need. That's Pristine Auction, Pristine. Simply go to pristineauction.com and begin bidding. And don't forget, mention the guys from the Great American Collectibles Show. That's Pristine Auction, meeting your collectible needs.
Mint State is a PSA authorized dealer specializing in high-grade vintage sports and non-sport cards. Established in 2002 and in its 18th year of full-time operation, we utilize an extensive network of sellers, collectors, and other dealers for the millions of dollars in collectibles we sell every year. Mint State has assisted with many of the finest collections ever assembled and offers sellers, such as the owners of the Lucky 7 Find, an attractive consignment package in addition to outright purchase. For more information, please visit mintstateinc.com or contact Rick Snyder by email at mintstate@msn.com or by telephone at 630-365-9790. Happy hunting!
Okay, we are back. Rico, how about our friends at RR Auctions?
Yeah, what about them? Oh.
Can you get your
First of
readout?
all,
No.
Oh, wait, who is it? Who wears his hat like this in the Major League relief pitcher and gave up a home run, grand slam to Bregman? Okay, how is this for a blockbuster? You're supposed to say that.
I know. How's this for a blockbuster? Our Auctions is kicking off their next sports collectible auction. Look at the way you have your hat on.
Well, that's a picture. I got a trivia question.
On November 7th. Do you know what RR stands for, Rico?
Of course. Do I know?
Yeah.
Of course I do. It stands for Remarkable Results. The memorabilia that RR Auctions is advertising is truly remarkable.
The items in their last auction were incredible. How about sharing some of the items in their November? You look so silly in that freaking hat.
Well, what do you want? The guy is he's a major league
right,
pitcher. He's pitched for 50 years. You want me to
Sabathia.
go?
Sabathia.
Yeah, right. Oh, he's one of them. You're right. Okay. Well, go ahead. The
items in their last auction
were incredible.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Rico, that's what I'm here for, besides getting free coffee. They're very funny. Free coffee. You charge me double. How about some incredible lots of T206 cars, including the likes of Cobb, Mathewson, and many other Hall of Famers, or some great personal memorabilia from Hall of Famer and Cy Young Award winner Tom Glavine, local boy, by the way, Hall of Fame, great pitcher. Great hockey player, too. Plus, there's a ton of vintage football, basketball, and Olympic hockey memorabilia. Oh, yeah, and how about a slew of vintage cards from the 50s and 60s, including a Mickey Mantle rookie card?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, great items from a great company.
That's right. That's our auction where you folks will truly get remarkable results.
And by the way, Bobby Livingston's going to be in the studio with us in a couple of weeks. And,
wonderful.
Hang out with us. We love Bobby.
Yeah, he's good.
All right, listen, our trivia question. No one's getting it. This is good. I'm really thrilled. This T206 was an Orphan, then a Blue, then a Bronco, then a Nap, then a Tip Top, and finally a Packer, not including any minor league teams. Those were all the major league teams he played for.
Tom, what was the first one? He's an orphan?
Yeah, an orphan.
An orphan?
Yeah, orphan.
Oh, wait, he was. Yeah. Babe Ruth.
No, you don't know. No,
he was an
the
orphan.
name of the team was the Orphans, Reek.
I'm sorry.
The name of the team. Hey, listen, a couple of people have asked about new collectors. A lot of ways you can do it. I look back at when I started collecting T206 cards about 30 years ago, and I was picking them up for $2, $3, $4. So if you're looking for an investment, it's a good way to start. You can still pick up inexpensive cards, T206s, T205s, any pre-war cards. You don't have to have, again, we talk about it all the time, the 80-20 rule. 80% of the general population hobbyists can't afford that $200,000 card. So my only advice is don't be scattered all over the place. Pick a niche and go for it. Would you agree with that?
Good advice. Absolutely. You're right. And I'm.
Stan Orr wins again.
God, that's not
Damn.
right. Hey, Stan
is unbelievable.
Hey, Stan, you got a life or what? What's going on?
Are you
here?
freaking kidding me? Stan Orr wins again. Bill Bradley is the answer. Bill Bradley. I think I have his card here somewhere. Billy Bradley played for the Chicago Orphans, the Cleveland Blues, who became the Broncos, and then the Naps. And then he was a player-manager for the Brooklyn Tip-Tops, and finally the Kansas City Packers. Stan Orr, you are incredible. I repeat, he's incredible. You win again. You know something? I tip my hat to him.
Yeah. Oh, I don't. He's winning too much. The other people are going to get discouraged.
Well, you know something? Everybody should kind of like gang up on him and beat the heck out of him. What do you want me to tell you?
Nah.
2019-2020 Panini Absolute Basketball Preview. In November, Panini is set to release the day before Thanksgiving the 2019 and 20 Panini Absolute Basketball. It's going to offer another chance to snare some early Zion Williamson rookie cards that picture him in his NBA uniform. This season's edition of Absolute will offer 2 packs per box with 5 cards per pack and 10 boxes per case. Each box should have 2 autographs and 2 memorabilia cards on average. Look for a new base card format this year. For more information, go to PaniniAmerica.net. By the way, as you know, I'm not in the studio tonight, and I will not be in the studio next week. Next week, I'll be broadcasting from the ATS Communications Hub in Massachusetts.
And you're going in for an operation,
I'll be back in the studio
Tom?
with Rico. I'm sorry, Rick?
Are you going in for an operation?
I am having a little procedure done next Monday, so I'm not sure I'll be up and around. I will be able to, because I am tough. I'm going to take one for the team.
Yeah.
I will be able to hopefully broadcast from my from my studio office. You're killing me. You are killing me tonight. But I will not be in the studio. John Mallory will be in the studio with Buddha, and then the week after I shall be back. And by the way, for our local collectors, this coming Saturday, we will be at the Shriners Auditorium in Wilmington, Mass. for the Greater Boston Collectibles Show. Red Sox Hall of Famer Rico Petrocelli will be at the Memory Lane booth from 1 to 3.
What?
He cannot sign autographs on Saturday. Will not be able to sign autographs.
First time I've heard of that.
Come say hi to Rico, meet and greet, have your picture taken with him, shoot the breeze. No autographs, though. That's per the agreement.
Yeah, not allowed.
And then I'll be there with Johnny Mallory and Buddha. Some of you guys will get to meet the great Mark LeMay. We're going to be walking around doing a series of interviews and videos with some of the great sponsors and dealers at the show. We're going to see Brian Drent will be there. Brian will be there. Lelands will be there. Memory Lane, Clean Sweep. A lot of our great sponsors will be there. So it's going to be fun.
Did they ever think about having a little class, like even at a show for new collectors or young, more recent collectors?
Actually, no. That's a very good point. That is a good point.
Yeah, the appearance I went with the other day, they had a number. It was banks, all banks, and they had little classes, about investing and all of that type of stuff. It was interesting. Maybe they should do that.
Well, good idea.
Right.
All right, so we're about out of time. Mr. Petrocelli,
Yeah.
we will see you Saturday at the Shriners.
Yes. Okay.
Bring money. Make sure you have plenty of money.
Yeah, I want to get a Mickey Mantle rookie card.
No. For me, for lunch.
Oh, again? Jeez.
the least you can do.
Isn't it your turn?
No, you're breaking up.
Uh-huh.
All right, listen. Go Astros, as Joe Marino says. Rico, have a great week. I'll see you in a couple of days.
Okay.
Buddha, I'll see you in a couple of days. And to our followers, our listeners, obviously, thanks for your great support. We love you guys, and happy collecting.
Right.